Sowore 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent, and here are the top stories. Appeal Court affirms order prescribing IPOB as a terrorist group. Sowore joins Egbetoku Moscow protesters at Abuja court. Suspected herdsmen kill 5 farmers in Ondo community, and Israel suspends prisoner release after chaotic Gaza hostages handover. Details now. The world news at 6 begins with Israel today suspending the planned release of Palestinian prisoners after Gaza militants freed 3 Israeli hostages and 5 ties amid chaotic scenes. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, along with Defense Minister Israel Katz, had instructed the delay of the release of the terrorists scheduled for today until the safe departure of Israeli hostages in the upcoming phases is assured. This is according to Israeli sources. Israel had been due to free 110 prisoners, including 30 minors, in exchange for the 3 Israelis, according to the Palestinian Prisoners Club advocacy group. A Hamas source said the group was in touch with mediators to compel Israel to release the 110 prisoners in the third exchange under the January 19 ceasefire deal aimed at ending the war in Gaza. Israel later said it had received assurance from mediators over the future safe release of captives. Another hostage and prisoner release had been scheduled for Saturday, with 3 Israeli men due to be set free. The prisoner release setback came after militants in Gaza freed 3 Israeli hostages and 5 thighs captured in Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. A daughter of former South African President Jacob Zuma has been arrested and is expected to appear in court today to face terrorism charges. Duduzile Zuma Sambudla, who is also a member of the South African Parliament, is accused of inciting violence during riots in July 2021, which led to the deaths of more than 350 people. She handed herself over to police today to face charges under the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against the Terrorist and Related Activities Act, an incitement to commit violence, according to police. Police spokesperson Brigadier Thandi Mbambo said the arrest is as a result of a meticulous investigation by the Durban Crimes Against the State Unit of the Serious Organized Crime Investigation, following the unrest that brought the country to a standstill in 2021. Her political party confirmed that she would appear in court today. The case against her is based on posts she made on Twitter, now called X, allegedly urging protesters to cause more damage during nationwide unrest that started after her father was sent to jail. Former President Zuma was taken to prison for defying a court order to testify before a corruption inquiry. Following that, angry mobs engaged in widespread looting of shops, arson and destruction of property. More than 5,000 people were arrested. Back home in Nigeria, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed the proscription of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB as a terrorist organization. In a unanimous decision by a 3-member panel led by Justice Hamma Barka, the appellate court affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which outlawed the IPOB. The court held that it found no reason to set aside the order the federal government got against the group. According to the court, the federal government acted lawfully by proscribing the organization whose activities threatened the nation's security and continued existence. It resolved all the issues against the IPOB and dismissed its appeal, for the IPOB approached the appellate court to set them aside. The organization, in its appeal, urged the appellate court to set aside in its entirety the final decision of the High Court. It alleged that the then AGF suppressed and misrepresented facts in the affidavit evidence he tendered before the court, maintaining that the prescription order was tantamount to declaring over 30 million Nigerians of Southeast extraction as terrorists. Former presidential candidate and activist Omoyele Sowore has been granted bail in the sum of 10 million naira, with one shorty in like sum. VOP News gathered that the shorty must be a responsible individual with landed property of equal value and is required to submit the original documents of the property along with a passport photograph to the court registrar. Justice Musa Liman, who ruled on the bail application, also ordered Sowore to deposit his international passport with the court. He was given 24 hours to to meet the bail conditions or be remanded in police custody. Sowore, who faces 17 counts of cybercrime charges brought by the Nigerian police, had pleaded not guilty to the charges. The charges stem from an alleged tweet by Sowore in which he referred to the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kaude Egbetokun, as the illegal IGP. Let's take a listen to Sowore speaking today after bail had been granted to him by the court. All right, then that insert is the wrong one, unfortunately, but we'll be taking it during the news analysis segment. Still on Sowore, former presidential candidate was today spotted among protesters at the front of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Justice Musa Suleiman Liman of the Federal High Court in Abuja granted Sowore bail in the amount of 10 million naira with one shorty of the same amount. Sowore was reportedly ordered to also deposit his international passport with the court and was given 24 hours to meet the bail conditions or be remanded in police custody. In a post on Facebook, Sowore commented about the bail, saying they granted the bail, but I am not going to be bailed out by a corrupt civil servant at level 17 or 16. They got the memo and took the condition off their table. Even then, they still targeted my international passport, but that too they will never have. The accompanying pictures and videos showed that Sowore briefly joined the demonstrators, singing and holding an Egbetoku must go placard before leaving. Let's take a listen to Sowore speaking after he was granted bail by the court.
Information we have for you is that the judge has finally granted bail after the hearing yesterday, and the bail conditions are very mathematical, so I leave it to the lawyers. But it's just to inform the Nigerian people that we are very resolute in our desire to make sure this country is extricated from the hands of mediocre people who are holding the country to ransom. We are very committed to ensuring that the welfare of the people of this country is paramount to us. And we are not doing it because elections are coming. We are not emergency activists. The ones that started yesterday, Erufai, Amechi, and the rest of them. We do this as a matter of conviction. And it is our body clock that reminds us about injustice, not election calendars. So we know that the police is interested in my passport, and the judge asked me to deposit the passport. As you are aware, I have only one passport, the green Nigerian passport. But you can take the passport, but you can't take away my rights. You can't shut me up. You cannot make me disappear. It's not possible. And I want to assure you that as we continue to defeat our enemies, these people will be defeated as well. I am sure that some of you were here when Buhari charged me in 2019 for treason. And I told you that Buhari will be disgraced out of office. Though he completed his tenure, but it's a shadow of himself now, dancing with musicians and spraying money in wherever he is. He's now giving testimonies around the world so that he can earn, what do they call it, the extra that they collect. So the same thing will befall anybody that has destroyed this country. They will never enjoy their retirement. And the same thing applies to all these guys. And I want to remind our brothers in the police force as well that even though you might think we are not friendly with you because you have compromised yourself, but we also understand the difficulties you are facing. A DPO that has 500 men under his command gets 30,000 naira in a quarter to manage.
You have just listened to Omoyele Sowore speaking after being granted bail by the court today. Still on the world news at 6, in a tragic development, 5 farmers have been reportedly murdered by armed men suspected to be herdsmen in the Ajegunle power line community in Akure North local government area of Ondo State. The victims were reportedly laborers from Plateau and Kaduna states working on the farmlands. An eyewitness account narrated that the attack occurred around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, adding that the herdsmen had engaged in destroying their crops and disrupting their livelihoods in the community. According to the source, who is also a farmer, the attacks have become a daily occurrence and many farmers have fled their farms for fear of being killed. one of the laborers who survived the attack and escaped, revealed that the herdsmen suddenly appeared and started shooting sporadically, killing 5 people. The public relations officer of the Ondo State Police Command, CSP Fumilayo Odunlami, confirmed the incident. However, 90.3 FM. We'll now go into the news analysis segment and to discuss and analyze issues on the world news at 6 this evening. I have political, social, and national affairs analyst. Mr. So much for coming. IPOB has just been the court that actually said IPOB was prescribed. The appeal court, which IPOB took it to, has said they have affirmed that ruling, saying that yes, IPOB is indeed a terrorist organization. I'd like to go through the timeline of IPOB being prescribed as a terrorist organization. In 2017, the prescription and designation came in September 15, 2017. The Nigerian Defense Headquarters declared IPOB a militant terrorist organization. In the same September 2017, the Southeast Governors Forum prescribed IPOB activities in the region. And 2 days later, in the same 2017 September, the Nigerian Federal High Court in Abuja officially declared IPOB a terrorist organization. On September 25, same 2017, the Nigerian government gazetted the court order making IPOB's prescription official. Between 2018 and 2020, international response on IPOB activities, the US and UK government stated that they do not recognize IPOB as a terrorist organization. In 2020, the Nigerian government intensified its crackdown on IPOB members, citing security threats. Meanwhile, in 2021, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and there was a renewed crackdown. In the same 2021, on June 27, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu was arrested and extradited to Nigeria from Kenya. And we could go on and on. To you, Mr. Peter Anosike, is the IPOB a terrorist organization? And now that the appeal court has affirmed this prescription, would we now see a wider crackdown on IPOB and ESN by the Southeast governors and the federal government-might security agencies?
Well, court cannot tell you who your parents are. It is you that knows who your parents are. God cannot tell you where you come from. It is you that knows where you come. So it is not every decision that that court makes. It is a script which has been given from the Nigerian state that is being affirmed. But they can only get judgment. They will never get justice. I know that some criminal elements are hiding under IPOB and committing different kinds of atrocities. But IPOB from foundation is never a terrorist organization. IPOB was formed as a non-violent organization which they took from Mahatma Gandhi of India. But the Nigerian state, who are Igbo haters, they are the one that is playing this script.
Wait, you just said that the Nigerian state are Igbo haters.
I say the Nigerian state that are Igbo haters are the one that is orchestrating this
Wait,
script.
the people who are part of the Nigerian state who hate people of Southeast extraction are the ones who are orchestrating the script.
Sure.
By leading the prescription of IPOB. Recall that this matter has been in court for a long time. Since 2018, that was the last ruling. It is 2025, 7 years after, and the court is still standing on what it said in 2018.
It's the same script that were handed over to them. That's what they are using.
In 2018, President Bola Tinubu was not the president as at that time. So what script are we talking about?
Which party is in power?
The APC.
Which party is in power now? It is still, so it is still that same script. What we have now is a Buhari Tinubu government. So it is a continuation of what started in 2015. So for me, I don't even expect a contrary judgment. But I know that IPOB is not a terrorist organization. Nigeria state cannot tell me what IPOB is. I know what IPOB is.
In 2018, when IPOB went to the appeal court, they actually alleged that the then Attorney General of the Federation had suppressed and misrepresented facts in the affidavit evidence presented to the which he tendered and presented before the court, saying that the prescription order is tantamount to declaring over 30 million Nigerians of Igbo extraction as terrorists. Is this something that you also agree with? Because the court is not saying the Southeasterners are terrorists. What they are saying is that those who identify with IPOB, those who identify with the security arm of IPOB, which is the ESN, are the ones who have been prescribed as terrorists. Definitely not all Igbo people agree with the ideology of IPOB.
Who they are describing as terrorists are those who want a better Nigeria, those who want a new Nigeria, those who are not satisfied with the way things are going in this country. So once you don't align with that system, you become a terrorist, you become enemy of the state, you become enemy of government. So that's exactly what is going on. And this mindset, I'm not expecting that to change very soon, but certainly it will change.
There are certain people who actually support a certain political would I say a certain political party or a certain political ideology, who are always drawing parallels between the IPOBs and the Obedience, saying they're like 5 and 6, right? And also talking about how Obi made a case for IPOB killings and saying that IPOB are peace-loving and they are not terrorists, right? They're saying that's the reason why he hardly condemns whatever it is that the IPOB is doing. I want to actually talk about the fact that not everyone who is Igbo identifies with Biafra. Many of them don't. There are certain people who you will talk to and they will tell you that they are not even interested in the Biafra ideology or whatever it is that IPOB is fighting for. When we come here and we call IPOB a prescribed group, there are certain people who would attack us and tell us you can't call it prescribed. That is not what it is. But the court has just affirmed this. Again, would you expect IPOB and their lawyers to take this to the Supreme Court?
One, as a law-abiding association, they will go to the Supreme Court, but they will know that they are going to the lion's den. They are going to where people already have a mindset, a made-up mind. So they should have that at the back of their mind. In Nigeria, what we have is a legal system and never a justice system. So I will not be surprised if they lose at the Supreme Court. But I know that what IPOB is seeking for is, if you cannot give us a working Nigeria, then let us go on our own. That's what IPOB is looking for. If you cannot give us a better Nigeria, an egalitarian Nigerian, a Nigerian where live and let live operate, let us go on our own.
Talking about what IPOB wants, which is a state of their own, if you, like you said, if Nigeria does not recognize or give certain rights, right? There are people who would say that the insecurity in the Southeast is largely being perpetrated by people who identify as IPOB members and members of the ESN. You've seen situations where there will be insecurity.
That's the voice of a Nigerian state.
That is the voice of a Nigerian state?
This statement is in Nigeria. You just read 5 people that were killed in Ondo. Ondo is not in the Southeast. Understand me?
You know that all across Nigeria, when we hear of insecurity and they talk about people who perpetrated them, in the north you would say bandits, you would say Boko Haram, you say Belaturgi and his team, you would say Lakurawa and others. And when you come to the Southeast, it is unknown. Organizations have not seen them or have not recognized them as a terrorist organization. What about the insecurity in the Southeast, the killings that are not ending? The sit at home for which people are told if you don't sit at home and you come out, we will kill you. I recall speaking with you about, I think it was a particular voice note which Kalu made on one time in 2021 talking about if you come out, we will kill you. Would you still say that IPOB is not responsible for the insecurity? I'm not saying that they are, but one can draw a parallel between the activities of IPOB and the insecurity in the Southeast.
Excuse me, there's what is called the deep fake. Anybody's voice can be imitated with a computer. It's as easy as anything. So I never agreed with you that it was the voice of Nnamdi Kanu. Understand? So there's deep fake everywhere. The issue is this: there are criminals everywhere. There are armed robbers everywhere. There are kidnappers everywhere. Those constituting havoc in the Southeast are criminal elements.
If if IPOB had not started with the seat at home in the southeast and also trying to enforce it through their security arm, would the insecurity in the southeast have blossomed to what it is today?
That's why I told you that some bad eggs are hiding under IPOB and committing atrocities. Understand? Some bad eggs are hiding under the toga of IPOB and committing atrocities. That does not in any way make IPOB a terrorist organization. We know what the terrorists do.
So if the IPOB cannot actually identify those who are their members and those who are committing havoc, do you think it may be time to actually disband their security arm, the ESN, and then say they are no longer involved in anything that has to do with arms and ammunition?
Excuse me, some pastors are doing 419 with the Bible. So does it mean that that church should be banned because some pastors are robbing others? So for me, if government is really interested in fighting the insecurity in the southeast, they should send sincere people, not people who are going there just for their own pocket, because that's what the security agents in the southeast are doing. They go there and just mount checkpoints and start extorting travelers and passengers. They are not there to protect
militarization of the southeast. These are people who are actually sent there to protect the people and disband terrorist networks who turn out to do something different.
What they are going there is to enrich themselves and not to protect lives and property.
Is there a way that you think that the government can actually liaise with IPOB, if you say it's not a terrorist organization, to actually phase out insecurity in the southeast? Because that is the actual concern of the people who live there and the people who have people that live there.
You cannot partner with an organization you have declared a terrorist organization. So the mistake has already been made.
All right. Because of our time, I'd like to move on from this particular topic and talk about Sowore being granted bail today and immediately participating in a protest termed Egbetokun Must Go. Before we continue the analysis for this particular one, I'd like to just quickly take this insert where his supporters were chanting, and let's take a listen to this.
You are a leader. 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 Who is a tyrant?
Now you can hear his supporters chanting Egbetokun is a tyrant. He also posted last month in December that Egbetokun is illegal, Egbetokun must go, and another NSAS might come up if Egbetokun does not go. Is Sowore doing too much at this point? Because we do recall how he was summoned due to the police checkpoint video that he posted, and then it spiraled into allegations of a cybercrime, cyber stalking the IGP. At this moment, is he doing too much, staging protests, carrying placards saying Egbetokun must go, and accusing the IGP of being illegal?
Well, for me, international airport anywhere in the world is the first site that that visitors see, and that is where their impression of a country will start from the airport. So police blocking international airport road is very, very wrong.
All right, let's focus more on the charges against him. The fact that he's been granted bail of 10 million naira, that they want his passport and he's refusing to let that go, and he's actually engaging in protest at this point, saying Egbetokun must go.
Well, protest is his fundamental human right. Understand? Every human being has that right to do a protest. The only thing is it must not turn into violence, and it must not turn into breaking laws. Understand me? But protest is his fundamental human right, and he did it during the day, not in the night. So nobody will charge him for trying to overthrow government, which this government has become fond of. So he is doing what he has his civic right to do.
All right. Some people are saying that, yes, Egbetoku must go and that his tenure is illegal. But I want you to recall that last year, right, the National Assembly actually passed a bill to make sure that anyone who is appointed as IGP, even though the tenure for them the time for them to retire has come, they can actually finish their tenure as the IGP before stepping down. So in this case, is Sowore actually right to be calling him illegal? He's also saying that Egbetoku should leave and allow other officers to rise to their next rank, as if he's the one holding others down from actually moving up the ladder in the police.
Is it right to change the goalpost in the middle of a match? Is it right to change the goalpost in the middle of a match? So that's what the National Assembly did, which we should not encourage. You shouldn't be changing our constitution because of an individual. It should not be changing our constitution because of an individual. It's just like in the university where say if you attend at the age of 70, you must resign. Then because of an individual, they now change it to 75. Is it the right thing? The answer is wrong. When we say what is not right, we should say it because of tomorrow. The injustice, the evil that we condone today may affect us tomorrow. So whatever we are doing, we should be guided. It is very, very important.
So in this case now, how do you see the sending? Because we do not have reports yet of if he has perfected his bail conditions. He's meant to perfect that within 24 hours. And yet he's not done that. But he's going on a tirade against the IGP. He's also alleging that the IGP is using his position to attack him personally because he has the powers to do so. Is that what is actually happening now? Do you see this as a case of actually entrenching the Cybercrime Act, or the IGP using his position to persecute rather than persecute Sowore?
Excuse me, how were they able to draw 17 counted charges over what? So that's one thing that they are very good at. But I know at the end of the day, Sowore will still win.
All right, then. Thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 6. We've hit the time and we have to go. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. You have been listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, we'll take a look at the top stories again. You heard that the appeal court has affirmed an order prescribing IPOB as a terrorist group. Sowore joins Egbetoku must go protesters at Abuja court. Suspected herdsmen kill 5 farmers in Ondo community. And on the foreign scene, Israel suspends prisoner release after chaotic Gaza hostages handover. And that is a wrap on the World News at 6. My name is Chioma Innocent. Please follow our social media handles at VOP903FM. For coverage of your live events and brand news mentioned in our news bulletins, do send a mail to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good evening and thank you for listening.